Hello everyone, welcome back to A Couple Books. Today you will be meeting with moi, couple, and we will be discussing some pretty cool things. And by cool things, you guys, it'll be interesting, so just stick with me here, okay? First off, you guys saw I did a TBR video about 3 weeks ago, back in October, what I wanted to finish by the end of October. Some failed, some didn't fail. We're going to be doing all that up in a wrap-up video for October and November. Stay tuned for that video. But we have like a week left in this month, and so I just wanted to show you guys the 3 books that I will be finishing. And the reason I'm showing this to you, you guys may ask, like, couple, why didn't you show us at the beginning of the month? Well, to be honest with you guys, I didn't know what I was reading at the beginning of the month, and even now, anything could happen. But I wanted to get something out there to basically hold myself accountable until we get to the very end of this month, and then we'll be doing the wrap-up video of everything I've read, everything that I have reviewed and not reviewed that I've read on the channel. And so there you go. I know I said I'm gonna do a lit RPG video. We're still working on that, so hold your horses. It is coming. I'm really excited for that video, and I wanted to make sure it's excellent. So I apologize for taking a second, but it's because I want it to be lovely, and I really am excited about making this video. Or, you know what I mean. But anyways, these are 3 books that I'm going to have done by the end of this month. So over Thanksgiving break, this is what I'm planning on finishing, okay? So the first book is The Queen of Sorrow by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the final book in the Queens of Renthia series, which is super fantastic. However, the only issue here being it's the 3rd book in a trilogy, so it's kind of hard to tell you guys what it's about without spoiling the first 2 books. So I'm not going to tell you much, but what I am going to tell you is what the first 2, like what the world is about, and then we'll go from there, okay? In this world, basically, there are all of these people, and they're super nature friendly. They like live in the trees. They're like communing with nature. They're like super lovely people. The women in this world also, or not all of them, but some of the women in this world have the ability to communicate with the spirits. Now you guys might be asking, what are the spirits? The spirits are basically these manifestations of nature that are throughout the land. So every tree has a spirit, every river has a spirit, the stones have spirits, the ground has spirits, the air has spirits, and there's all these spirits, and they're all throughout this kingdom of Renthia, and the women are the ones who kind of keep them at bay. And the queen is the most powerful woman of them all, and basically has like most control and tries to keep all of them in check, while the other women are also doing the same thing, but on a smaller scale. You may be asking, why do they need to keep them at bay? Well, it's because the spirits in this world absolutely hate the humans so much, like so much. And so the spirits are always trying to get control away from the women and trying to go out and kill the humans. The first book in the series is all about this girl, Delenia, I think is how you pronounce her name, but she is training to be a queen in waiting, which is, they're called heirs. They're basically the women who've been fully trained to control the spirits, so that if the queen would ever fall, they will all go to this grove and they will be chosen by the spirits, and that person will ascend to the throne and she will rule all over the kingdom. What is important is that the first 2 books, the Queen of Blood and then the second book, The Reluctant Queen, were both excellent, and I'm super excited for the 3rd one. I'm very excited. It's got a dog in the series. It's not a dog, it's a wolf, but still. Puppies, yay. So I'm super excited for this. If you guys watched my last video, then you guys are probably not surprised by this, but the next one is going to be The Mast City by Genevieve Cogman. This is the 2nd book in the Invisible Library series. I don't know much about this, and once again, because it's a sequel, or the 2nd book in a series, I don't want to spoil anything, but basically in this world, if you guys watched the last video, then you guys know what it's all about. But basically there's this invisible library that is between all these parallel worlds. Now you may say, what are these parallel worlds? These parallel worlds are basically different versions of Earth. Our Earth, there's a whole bunch of different versions out there, and they each have, some have magic, some don't have magic, some have more like crazy things going on, some have less crazy things going on. It kind of just depends on the world. Now these worlds are influenced by chaotic forces and order forces. Does that make sense? Order forces are basically dragons. Dragons are like the gatekeepers of order, and they basically instill order in the lands, and order represents itself in these worlds of like rational technology, rational science, and then there's the chaotic forces, which their agents are Fae, and they infiltrate these forces and basically make things happen that don't make any actual sense, and they kind of bend the world to its will, right? Fine. So in the first book, we met Irene, and she was given a task with her new partner Kai to go out there and get a book. You guys know what happened at the end of the book because you guys read it. And then this book is basically what happens after she comes back to the library from that assignment. So I'm really excited to get into this. I'm excited to see some old faces again. I'm looking forward to it. So that is the second book. The third book I'll be reading before the end of November is The Whisper Man by Alex North. I read The Shadows by Alex North and I really enjoyed it. And so I picked up The Whisper Man because it sounded uber creepy. But basically, I try not to know a lot about horror books before I pick them up because I feel like it kind of ruins the experience of horror books. And so I know very little, but from what I can understand, there is this father and his son. They basically need a fresh start, right? So they go to this town, a small town, like small town people just trying to get away from their old life and try and settle into a new one with, new house, new town, and then hopefully a fresh start, right? The only issue is this is a horror book, so it's not going to go that way. From what I've read and what I do understand is basically 20 years ago, or a few decades ago, there was this murderer, this serial killer who roamed through this town, and he's kind of left himself a urban legend. Like he is like, they speak about him, it's all whispers. This man has kind of been coined the Whisper Man, I do believe, which sounds creepy enough, but it happened 20 years ago, so who cares? Well, this is a horror book, so we both know that something's going to happen with the Whisper Man, and we both know, if you read the beginning of this book, that the son hears whispering underneath his bedroom window. So, I'm enticed. I really enjoyed The Shadows by him, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book as well. So those are the 3 books that I am planning on getting done over Thanksgiving break. No promises, of course, because it's me and I'm kind of a mood reader and I kind of just pick up as I go. But hopefully these 3 will get done. They're my top priority on my TBR pile. And if they don't, then there'll be something else that replaces it, I'm sure. But that is what I'm aiming for. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video. I'm hoping to be doing a lit RPG video, which is super exciting. And then we will be doing, of course, our wrap-up video for the months of October and November, which I'm super excited for. And then there's a few other surprises that I'm planning right now, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment about maybe what book I should pick up first if you guys have the idea, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.